Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. I do have a few finished items, and I have one whip that I've been working on, but it's nowhere near as much as I had last time, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. I don't have any new items. I've actually been spending a lot of my time ripping out old projects that I don't use or that I've made to sell and have never sold. So I've been working on, getting those all balled up and ready to be used for the next project. So since I have like a whole tote of things out there that I had up for sale and it never sold, so I went ahead and am slowly taking all of those finished items and tearing them back and having the yarn to be able to repurpose. So I've been spending a lot of my time doing that. So yeah, so I'm just going to jump right into it. The first one is the pig that I was telling you I was going to make. I did finish it. He turned out really cute. He even has a little cute little curly cute tail. I think he's really cute. Once again, that's out of the Whimsical Stitches book that my husband bought me. I really like this book. I highly recommend it. It is a more expensive book. It's closer to the $20 range, but it's definitely worth it. I've made I don't even know how many patterns now out of this. 5 or 6 of the patterns out of this. So I'm really looking forward to being able to make more. But for now, I'm stepping away from crochet and I'm doing a little bit of loom knitting in hopes that that will kind of relieve the pressure in my elbow. But I did go ahead and finish the pig, which, like I said, was out of the Whimsical Stitches, and he's super cute. So these are both Crafter's Secret. It's the Crafter's Secret pink, and then this is the tan color. I don't know what the name of it is because I've actually lost the label to it. But it's just, the light tan color that the Crafter's Secret has, and then it's that pale pink. But they're really cute. The way the patterns are written, they're very simple, and it makes it very easy for you to finish these in a very short amount of time. So sewing on the extra pieces isn't such a hassle like some other projects are. I just added safety eyes for it. These are the largest safety eyes that I had in my little kit, and then I used puff paint for the little nostrils. But he's really cute. So that's the only amigurumi that I have this time. Like last time, I've been working on getting the stuff done for my grandson for Christmas. So I have finally finished everything. And the last thing that I wanted to finish for him was a jack hat to match his Zero Lovey. So this is my basic beanie for 3 to 6 months old, and then it's just a circle for the eyes, and then I did puff paint for the face. So I think it turned out really good. I really like how it looks. So hopefully that will still be able to fit him by the time Christmas comes around. And then the last finished projects that I have are the things I was wanting to make for my daughter and my son-in-law. I was hoping to be able to make like kitchen items, and I think I've just run out of time. So this is pretty much the last thing that I'm going to be doing for this box, because that box is like overflowing, and then we just are going to send money instead. So, and they can use it to, purchase whatever it is that they're needing. But I wanted to go ahead and make these, and they're the kitchen towel holders that you button onto your stove handle. So it goes over the stove handle, and then you can slip your towel into the hole. So I made them in their favorite colors. So my daughter's favorite color is pink, and then my son-in-law's is like bright green, she said. So I made 2 in each, and hopefully those will come in handy. I figured it's something that you know, everybody can use. I know that's one thing that drives me crazy. I really need to make some of these for my own kitchen, is the towel constantly falling off of the oven handle. I think this would probably help with that. So I made those. I did follow a pattern, but I can't remember which one it was, and I think I left it out in my craft room. But I went ahead and finished those, and that's all my finished projects. So on to whips. I only have one actively current whipped right this second, and it is a hat on my knitting loom. So this is just Mainstays black, and then I'm holding it with a strand of that I love this yarn metallic. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that, but I'm holding it together because normally with these looms, depending on the stitch that you're using, you kind of need a thicker yarn. But I don't have just a plain black hat and or a black hat at all. So I wanted to go ahead and make one because I've been finding lately I've been wanting to wear a hat, but I don't have one that matches, you know, something I'm wearing. I am one of those people that like to have everything to match. I'm not real obsessive about it, but if I can make it match, then I will. So I realized that I needed a black hat, and I made a couple of these I want to say it was the beginning of last summer, and I really liked that design that I made those hats in, so I thought I would make this hat in that design, which was a loom knit hat. I have a very small head, so I need to use the green loom. I find that it makes, you know, an average adult size head, you know, teen adult size. Some people will say that you need to use the yellow loom for the adult size, but I'm perfectly fine using the green. It seems to have fit everybody that I've ever made a hat for that's an adult. So anyway, I'm doing garter stitch for the band. It's going to be a wider band. So all of this section right here is garter stitch, and I just started doing just the trigger. Sorry about that. That's my dog. He's probably barking at the trash truck. Yep. So I started the knit stitch, which the knit stitch I'm using is the U wrap, so it makes it a little bit tighter than the E wrap. If you don't loom knit, then you may not understand what I'm talking about, but there's different versions of the knit stitch, and some of them are tighter than others. The E wrap is the loosest stitch or knit stitch that you can use, and then of course the flat stitch is the tightest. So U wrap's kind of in that in-between stage, so it won't make the hat, you know, very gappy. So the one thing about knitting looms is, at least the ones I have, they are a large gauge, so you either have to use bulky yarn or double up your yarn, or choose different stitches that are going to be tighter. So I've been working on that. I've been really inspired by Mama Kayla. I've been trying to watch all of her videos. I have been subscribed to her for a long time now, but you know, in YouTube, the people that you're subscribed to kind of get lost in the feed, and then they don't show up in your feed anymore after a while, and it's basically just the ones that you're watching a lot of. And then when you start watching a lot of other people's videos, those videos won't pop up anymore. So I've been trying to go to those specific channels for the ones that I watch a lot of videos of, just to check and make sure that they have, you know, if they have any new videos, and I've been watching those. And I really, really like her channel. She's very creative, and she loom knits, and she also has several different knitting machines. So it's a different aspect of the craft that I like to do, and I don't do as much of, because they're not as versatile to me as crochet is, because I can, you know, come up with something on my own for crochet, like amigurumis, patterns, all of that, but I can't really do that for like loom knitting or my knitting machine, because I'm not that advanced in those. Even though I've been doing it, I learned to loom knit a long time ago, around the same time that I learned to crochet, but I didn't advance in loom knitting like I did crochet. So I'm still kind of at that beginner slash intermediate level in loom knitting. So I'm still trying to find new projects to do, and she creates the most, you know, really beautiful projects and things that I wouldn't think of. She makes amigurumi on the loom, and I never thought of being able to do that. So I'm wanting to be able to do that, and all of that. So I thought I would pull out my looms and, you know, try and mess around with them a little bit, and try and get my mind to think for a loom like it would with crochet. But for now, I needed this hat, so that's why I went ahead and started it. I probably should have this done by the next podcast, and hopefully I'll remember to bring it to be able to show you. But I have several things that I want to try and make on the loom. One of those are like little turkeys that are similar to what I seen on Llama Mama Kayla's channel. She I want to say she did some turkeys, but she also did some little pilgrims that she put on a wreath, and I really want to try and make like a little Thanksgiving set on the loom and see, you know, how it turns out for Thanksgiving decorations. And I'm, you know, that'll be the next thing that I start. I also need to start a new cat sweater, which I'm going to be doing on the loom. I don't know if you guys remember, I talked about when I had made my daughter's cat, the candy corn sweater for my daughter's cat, that I had patterns for cat coats and dog coats, and I couldn't find them, but little did I know it was on the loom, and I didn't remember that. I was thinking it was crochet, and I found them. So so I want to start on that, and I also need to make another, you know, dog coat, which I'm going to be making on the loom too, hopefully. I think that pattern that I have in there is very versatile, and I have used it before, but it was years ago. So hopefully I'll be able to figure that out and get the sizing right and all of that. But very inspired to pull out my looms and you know, do some loom knitting. It is a different motion, so it should help improve the problems that I've been having with my elbow, because I've been overdoing it, trying to get all of this stuff done for Christmas. But now I'm done with all the Christmas stuff, so now it's just whatever holiday stuff that I want to, you know, decorations and stuff like that I want to do. So no pressure to get anything done that I you know, have a deadline for. So next things will probably be Thanksgiving decoration types of things. I actually pulled out the yarn for the turkeys today, so, or just this morning, and I hope to start at least on the body of that. I do have a crochet turkey that I want to make, that I've had the pattern waiting for probably about a good 6 months now, because I seen, I want to say it was Ella from No Catchy Names, she made one, And it's just a little turkey body, and it has like granny squares for the feathers, and I really wanted to make that, so I wanted to make it closer to Thanksgiving, because I kind of get in the spirit by making craft projects for the holiday. So I want to make that, and then like I said, I want to try and make the loom turkey and pilgrim set, and hopefully they'll turn out, and maybe you'll see some progress on that next time. So that is all of the craft stuff. I'm just going to chat a little bit. So I hope everybody had a really great Halloween yesterday. We had a really good day. Halloween is very kind of hectic for us. At least in the afternoon it is. During the day it's, it's normal. But we normally like to get dressed up first thing, and then we kind of spend all day in our costumes, depending on what the costume is. I normally don't do a whole lot of face paints or anything like that, so whatever I do normally is just an outfit that I can wear anyway. So my husband, he went as a Roman soldier and has the full getup. And then my daughter, my youngest daughter, she went as Beetlejuice, and they looked amazing. I did wear my corset vest that I had showed you guys that I made. Unfortunately, I did not get a single picture with me in it, or with it on at all. We did get a short little clip of just like us goofing around outside, but I didn't get any pictures, so I can't show you any pictures of it. But I will go ahead and pop in the pictures of my husband and my daughter. They looked really great, so I'm going to go ahead and do that here. So we had a pretty good day. Once my daughter got home, it's kind of the crunch, because in our small little town, the main street where all the businesses are, that's where they do the trick-or-treating. So every business, hands out candy for everybody. So it's kind of the whole main strip downtown. And you kind of just pick a spot and start, and then walk all the way down to the other end of town, and then cross the street and back up the other side, and then back to where you started. So it's, a nice little jaunt. Everybody turns out for it. We live in a very small town, so you have all of the children for everywhere. It's the safest place to go. And that starts at 4 o'clock. So my daughter gets home about 3:40 or 3:35, somewhere, depending on how many stops the bus has. So she didn't have a whole lot of time. So we got, and her costume took a little bit longer this time, because she had all these extra pieces. She had the spray-in hair dye, and all the moss to glue on, and pin in her hair and everything. So, and then she had all of her face paint she had to do, and so we were a little bit late going, but it was good. But it's very crowded, and lots of children, and a lot of people. Since it's the main street, there's a lot of car traffic, and a lot of stupid people that are going way too fast with that many children around. But it's a fun experience. We did take her up to one of the trunk or treats that I want to say it's a Catholic school, but it's a religious school that we have up on the hill. And they do a trunk or treat. It's real small, but my daughter likes to go into it, so we did that. And then we came home and she carved her pumpkin, and we had dinner. And we actually had trick-or-treaters this year, which was strange. We always buy candy and everything for trick-or-treaters, but we rarely ever get them. I think it's just because it's so much safer just to take them downtown and instead of going door to door. But I think we did have, you know, several of the children in the neighborhood stop by, and what we do is we set up a candy bowl and we decorate a table outside, and then we set it really close to our gate and open the gate so they can just come in and get it while we're gone. And we normally leave that out until we get ready to go to bed, because constantly knocking on the door and all of that upsets the dog. So we just set it outside and they can, you know, get the candy themselves. And we actually had, I want to say it's about 5 families this year, which normally we only have like maybe 2, if that. So that was kind of cool. I mean, you don't really get to see the costumes when you do that, but it's better than having him so upset all the time. So yeah, so she got a pretty good haul on candy, and that will last her forever, because, you know, I don't let her overload on candy. So now we're going to be moving in on to the holidays, and they'll be here before we know it. I actually wrapped all of our presents this week, so that's all done. And we actually have our tree up already. We got a new tree this year, and it's a Halloween tree. It's black, so we're just going to go ahead and leave it up, and we're all ready for the holidays. So yeah, not a whole lot other than that's been going on. I really need to get out and clean my craft room, but it's so cold out there, I just don't want to go. We've had a really big cold snap this week. The temperatures have gotten really cold, and I just really don't want to go out there, but I really need to clean it up. It kind of looks like a bomb hit it in there, because we've done a lot of extra little projects getting ready for Halloween with my husband's costume and all of this, and stuff just kind of has gotten used but not really put away, so it's just kind of stacked up out there, and I really got to go out there and clean it up. And then we realized that my daughter didn't have a candy bag. We normally have plastic pumpkins, and we keep them out in our storage shed outside, but she forgot to go out and pick one out, and by the time we realized it was too late, so I had to take one of the bags I was storing the yarn in that I've been frogging from the projects, and it's just one of those Dollar Tree like shopping bags. It has, like, you know, Gru and the Minions and stuff from Despicable Me on it. But so I had to dump all that, so that's sitting on my craft room floor. I need to go clean up, but I think I'm going to wait until it's a little bit warmer to go do that, and hopefully this next week this cold snap will be a little bit better, and I'll be able to spend some time out there. But yeah, other than that, nothing really has been going on. I was actually able to, because we normally make these little pies for Thanksgiving, or for Halloween, and that's our little treat on Halloween. And we were able to make gluten-free pies that actually taste good, so I was happy about that, because I've really been struggling with the gluten-free baking and stuff like that, because about half the time it just is a flop, and the other half it's okay, and then when you go to make it again, it doesn't turn out the same. So I've really been struggling with that, but I think at least I found one recipe that, you know, has kind of worked out. I'm actually gonna rewrite that recipe and change a few things in it, because I made it and then I put it in the fridge and let it stay in there overnight, and that was so much easier to work with. And I baked it at a different temperature and time than what the recipe said, because the recipe was basically just for making the shells, baking the empty shells by itself, and then and then using them later, I guess. But I'm going to rework that recipe a little bit and, you know, add it the way that I did it into it. That way I can remember and be able to use it again, because it was a fairly decent recipe, and those are very far and few between that I've been able to find. So Thanksgiving and Christmas, the meal is going to be, it's going to be a challenge this year, because I've never had any problem with baking anything before, but I really struggle with the gluten-free baking. And of course, you know, it doesn't taste the same, so nobody really, it's not that they don't want to eat it, it's just not the same. So so yeah, so I hope everybody's had a great Halloween and having a good week, and hopefully everybody's staying warm. I'm thinking that this cold snap's kind of hit a lot of different places, so I half expected to wake up and find snow on the ground, because it was actually snowing in, I think my husband said, Spokane, which is not that far away from us. It's about 2 hours away. So yeah, it is getting closer, and we already had snow on the mountains over the passes, you know, like going to Seattle. They already got snow several weeks ago. So it's coming. I'm glad that I, you know, made those extra sweaters. I am going to start working on my new sweaters with that yarn that I had purchased, but I think I'm going to wait until after Christmas to do that. Because I think I have, you know, some Christmas, or some, I know I have some Thanksgiving things I want to make, and I want to make some Christmas things. And I'm sure you can hear the train, I'm sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and go. Like I said, I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye!